Yeah, I think so. I don't know. Maybe different kinds of foods. I don't know what it was like to have um, a pet. What school was like.
Yeah, I think I would for sure. Um, I don't. I would probably pick and choose some things that I liked, from the life I'm used to now. As to what that would be, I don't know. It's a good question.
Yes, I think they should. History or your heritage is very important. Well, I always think your future hope is really built on the past existence. It's not, after the catastrophe, is not that there never was a previous life or a previous family. Family is important.
I think that it's important to, I strongly think that it's important to know where you came from and how you got there, because lessons are, they repeat all the time. So, and also by knowing what was before, you might know what you can get to in the future. So depending on how, bad it is and things, like it might be something to build to, like being able to build farms, things that in the past people were able to do, trades, tools, things like that. So I don't think it builds necessarily false hope, but I think that it could be sobering and it would have a weight, so it would have to be delivered in some sort of message that could be positive. So this is what we should be trying to strive for the future, or take elements of this and not repeat it, and take elements of this and build off of it and do more of it.
Because I would try to just give them memories of stories of, oh, this is how it used to be. Any kind of education is better than ignorance, about anything. So
I would tell them to find a girl.
That's terrible.
You're in apocalyptic times. You need a girl.
I feel like if I was a parent in that time, I feel like I'd tell about this world as a fairy tale as I remember it, like bedtime stories.
And I feel like the fairy tale would reinforce the ethics in the sense of being just morals.
Yeah, I would. It's I don't know. History's always been important in the growth of the human race. So, if anything, it would give him a foundation to fall back on if society ever progressed to a point where it's able to stabilize and return to what we view as normal.
Well, you'd start with God. He's still in charge no matter what has happened.
I think the most important morals for people to know is how to have empathy for each other and show understanding and caring. I think that's really important. So although, maybe that's not what's going on, but I think it's one of our greatest characters as humans that we have, that we can show sympathy and understanding and care for others. So that'd be something I would like to share in a situation like that, especially if it wasn't occurring, because I don't think that would be good in the long run for humanity. I think that you need to incorporate some of that into your practice or your community that you start to develop and you build as the community rebuilds itself. So, yeah.
Just to love people and, the golden rule of treating other people the way you would like to be treated and stuff like that. If everyone just loved each other, they wouldn't have those problems.
I mean, it's like a totally different world. Some of the morals today won't apply then, and some of the realities aren't the same. So you try to find that balance between what you thought was good here and then what needs to happen here to survive.
I think honesty is probably the most important moral, just being honest with yourself, and being honest with other people about how you truly feel.
I'd say to try and foster an attitude of cooperation rather than competition.
Yeah,
Because I think that would be a distinct difference between the two worlds. But I think that's probably the most important thing in fostering growth of the human race. And if he was able to adopt those ideals and pass them along, then maybe as a collective, they could return back to that sort of state of mind.
Well, originally I was thinking that I would do the same thing as the father in the book apparently did, which is instill those kinds of morals which we valorize today, like don't hurt anybody, share the things that you have, and don't steal from people. And I like to think that I would do that, but really I have no idea what I would do under those circumstances. Because one thing that you realize when you have a child is that no matter what, you want them to survive. And it's unclear to me whether or not it would be more important for him to survive than for everybody to be happy. I would definitely teach my child how to use one safely, especially if I thought he might get a hold of one. I wouldn't have any qualms about it. I don't think that our morals or standards regarding guns apply to that situation at all.
I definitely teach him not to be an American. Definitely no individualism.
I mean, I would do that today. So I definitely think that I would teach my son all those things.
Yeah. I think you gotta just raise him up to be strong and like know when you gotta make tough decisions, and if you have to kill someone, you gotta kill someone.
There's kind of a fine line between being like a good person and having good morals, and then being tough, and being able to support and stand